Welcome back to Barbecue My Way. We are doing something really different tonight. It's going to be a coffee rubbed pork loin chop with a Guinness sauce. So stay with us here at Barbecue My Way. Easy and delicious. Alright, I put 2 tablespoons of coffee in the coffee grinder. Probably don't have to do this, but I want a little finer just for the heck of it. That's about all it takes, not much. Roughly 2 teaspoons, maybe a little bit more of kosher salt. Maybe 2.5. So 2.5. 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, roughly a teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper, sprinkling of cayenne pepper, about a half a teaspoon, a heaping tablespoon of brown sugar. And tablespoon and a half. Alright, what I'm going to do now is straddle the camera stand because I'm trying to get a good angle for you guys. And I'm just going to take a pork loin and I'm going to cut chops roughly 1.25 inches thick. About like that. Looks good, doesn't it? Alright, now we're going to take the this nice rub we've created and rub it into these great looking chops on both sides and even the corners. And this is a little restaurant secret. You know how you feel like when you go to a restaurant, every bite of a good steak is just perfect. One of the things they do is they get the sides too. That's how you do that. Alright, as you guys know, I like the typical indirect. I've got my hickory log separating the coals from the cold part, or the not hot part. I've dumped the coals out. I've got some fresh coals on top. I'm going to lay these chops on the opposite side of the flame. We're going to put the lid on. And we're just going to do a little indirect slow smoking to give it a little bit of that hickory flavor, and then we're going to finish them off directly over the charcoals. All vents open, we're putting the lid on right now. Kind of a hot smoke. Alright, now we're making the Guinness sauce. We're going to start off with about a tablespoon of butter, and we've chopped up 1 small onion. You could do white onion or Vidalia or whatever you want, whatever's to your liking. We're going to saute these up about a couple minutes. Be right back. We're going to add the thickening agent, roughly 2 tablespoons of just regular flour. And let that kind of cook in for a minute or so. Those onions have been cooking maybe for 3 or 4 minutes, just getting a little translucent, not totally caramelizing them, just getting them translucent. And now we're going to add roughly 1 cup of chicken broth, and 1 cup, that's correct, of Guinness beer. So we're going to let this simmer a bit on very, very low heat, and it will cause it to thicken up, and it will be a great sauce for these beautiful pork chops that I'm going to go check on right now, and you're coming with me. Alright, now we're going to finish off the chops. They've been on here for about 30 minutes. Indirect heat, and now we're going to give them some texture over the coals. Pretty soon here they'll start flaming up, so you just have to, oops, it's upside down. So you just have to be ready for that. At this point the chops are almost cooked through. This is really about texture more than anything else. Right, as you can see, they're starting to flame up a little because of the wood and the juices of the chops. So we're going to put the lid on to kind of squelch the flame, but it's still going to be over direct heat, so it's still going to give it a nice crusty texture. Putting the lid on will pretty much kill the flame. It's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to turn these puppies. Good angle here. That's what you want. A little bit of crustation, caramelization. It's looking pretty darn good. We're about ready. I'd give it maybe, I don't know, a minute or so on this side. We'll be ready to eat. Alright, we're taking the chops off. I moved them off of the flames. You can see that log is going at it. I'm going to put the lid back on this when we are done here, so to save that log for the next grill, the grilling session. And these look delicious. I'm going to let them rest for about 5 minutes. Be ready for that nice Guinness sauce. We'll be ready.